So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be doing another compilation video. We have some really good hot topics tonight. Now, before I list what's on my docket, could y'all please make sure that your post notifications are on for my channel? YouTube has been suppressing my channel all week. Almost all of my videos have been demonetized or limited. And even if they gave me the monetization back, they are definitely still suppressing my views. My last video, which was called The Reality TV Impact, definitely underperformed, and I don't even know why. Some videos do better or worse than others, but this video most definitely isn't being pushed by YouTube at all, even though it's monetized and didn't violate any guidelines. I just don't want to believe that people just weren't interested. I think YouTube isn't allowing me to flourish because my last few videos have been on real and controversial topics. They demonetized my video about video vixens as well as my video about Zeus Network, and I feel like I was being informative more than anything, so I don't understand how I got flags. It's not even about the money for real, but don't suppress my views. It's really getting frustrating, and I've been creating content for my Patreon, which is going to be active really soon because I'm not going to lie, I can't take this malarkey. YouTube allows so much more nonsense on their platform from bigger creators or creators who just aren't black, and it's literally blatant. Like, I literally had to force myself to post today because my frustration level is out of this world now. So just make sure that my post notifications are on. Check back on my channel every so often if you enjoy my content, and thank you to everyone who has been supporting me. So on the docket tonight, we have rapper Ddg basically announcing that he has another daughter, which is crazy because it seems like he just keeps getting girls, and somehow I think there's more to it. Next on the docket, we have rapper Ruby Rose and YouTuber slash rapper Ddg getting into it about him being in her DMs, all while he's in a public relationship with singer Halle Bailey. It's just a very messy situation between all three parties. And lastly, Rihanna'S Superbowl performance, what the internet is saying, and my overall thoughts on her taking the stage. So again, we have some really good topics tonight. Y'all know the deal. Label your comments based on the story. So story number 1, story number 2, and story number 3. I'm a little OCD, actually very OCD, like I'm not kidding. So we just gotta keep it organized. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So story number 1 is Ddg's new baby. So everyone's most favorite canceled celebrity, Jonathan Ddg Kirk, recently revealed that he has yet again another daughter. So we don't really hear about Ddg like that because I think he was successfully ostracized. He may not be fully canceled, as we do see him from time to time. Clearly he's still dropping music and he does still do shows, which means his career is still active. But I think what ended up happening is that he lost a lot of his fan base. So he was basically socially ostracized, which means banished from a lot of people's attention span. He's literally the only celebrity that kind of actually truly became affected by his actions. And I don't even think that it was because of what he did. It was more or less of how frequent it was being done. The arrogance and that egotistical approach to your fame is never going to get you anywhere. Being a mean person or acting as if your shit doesn't smell like a Bronx, New York sewer rat doesn't get you anywhere, and Ddg paid the price. Now, he dropped a freestyle the other day and he said the following lyrics.
Got 4 daughters, 3 different baby mamas, all put my daughters in my room, not sleep, nigga. No, I got 4 daughters, 3 different baby mamas, all put my daughters in my room, not sleep, nigga. No, I got 4 daughters, 3 different baby mamas, all put my daughters in my room, not sleep, nigga.
So I think he said something along the lines of, now I got 4 daughters, 3 different baby mamas, something, 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 not sleep. Naker. Something along those lines of that, because I'm not gonna lie, I played it again and again and again, and I really could not figure out what he was saying. And I speak fast, but I couldn't even hear what he was saying. But I did hear him say that he has 4 daughters and 3 different baby mothers. Now, if you've been keeping up with Ddg even in the littlest bit, we all know that his relationship history, as well as just his dealings with women, is very, very controversial. He's proven to be very narcissistic and have disrespectful tendencies towards women. When he first came out, he was so sought after and people really liked him. I think his initial blow into the industry was very well received. He was this charming sounding man with a very new flow, a very distinct rapper voice, and also had a dark-skinned black woman as his girlfriend. And even though some women were a little bit mad that he wasn't single, people definitely championed the fact that he was promoting black love, until we realized that all of that positivity that we thought we were viewing was a facade, and he was just the typical black male rapper who is egotistical, probably misogynistic, very violent, and just not a likable person all around. So essentially, he has 4 daughters. So he has 1 daughter with Mimi, who is his first baby mama, 1 daughter with another woman who I didn't even go to bother and look up her name, which is his second baby mama, 1 daughter with singer Danny Lay, who is his 3rd baby mama, and then a new daughter, which is actually with his 2nd baby mama, which he is now admitting to. So 4 daughters and 3 baby mothers. And the craziest thing about this story is that the 2nd baby mama is pretty unknown. I'm sure somewhere on those private tea pages on Instagram, people know her name, but I didn't even care to look it up. She seems to stay low-key and doesn't really bask in the whole rapper baby mama career, probably because it's not a flex. I mean, come on. And I'm sure she would end up being in a lot of BS and a lot of drama if she opens her mouth. Also, it's best for her to be low-key because how do you have a man's baby, watch him have a baby with a whole other woman who he publicly played and disrespected, and then turn around and get pregnant by him again? What a clown. The bar is in the pits of hell. I mean, the bar is even lower than this man's voice. I think the baby is literally exemplifying karma. And I hate to say that having a daughter is karma because I don't all the way believe that, and I would never agree to that. But I think when a lot of your existence is misogyny and disrespect for us women, it is ironic karma, meaning it's very ironic and not coincidental that he now has 4 daughters to raise and 4 young girls who will eventually be women who I hope doesn't run into a man that has the same tendencies as him. He has not gotten one son, and I think it goes without saying that sometimes the energy that we cast definitely comes back tenfold. Most men do want a son. The baby is a good rapper. I always give him credit. He does have bars. And I do think that if it wasn't for his controversy, he would be even bigger in his career. But he's a walking tale of when your ego and hate for women can be carried out through your own offspring. I just hope that now that he has 4 young girls, I mean shit, even when he had 1, but now that he has 4 young girls, his mindset has adapted. Little girls need their fathers, and most importantly, they need their fathers to show them good examples of a good man and how to be treated, what not to accept, and what type of men to stay away from. I really pray that he has had a revelation of his past actions and understands how important it is to be a good male figure to his daughters. Now, moving on to story number 2, DDG, Ruby Rose, and Halle Bailey. I think we all saw how this entire debacle went down, and this kind of stems from the video that I did recently about how I feel DDG is kind of an embarrassment to Halle Bailey, as their relationship doesn't necessarily come off as socially compatible. And by that I mean the connotation that I get from DDG doesn't match well with the connotation that I get from Halle Bailey. Both of their perceptions are way different, and I think DDG is just too internet. So DDG used to date rapper Ruby Rose, and their relationship was pretty toxic to say the least. I don't really keep up with celebrity relationships that deeply, but when I would see them on the blogs, and it was just mainly the Shade Room teens, just being honest, it would always be some type of drama. I would glance at it and keep scrolling, but it was clear that these two had some type of toxic bond and were always on and off. And to be honest, I kind of feel like they still are. So Ruby recently kind of threw shade by saying, having your B wear my clothes is crazy, LOL. And in the clip, you can clearly see that both her and Halle have the same exact t-shirt. Now, I wasn't sure what possessed Ruby to be this petty because at the end of the day, it's not that serious. I understand it is weird because if that is the case, that is very messy for DDG to do, but woman to woman, it's giving very bothered, especially for her ex-boyfriend who was in a public relationship with somebody else. So of course, people came for Ruby because I feel like people have unwavering support for Halle and even her sister Chloe because they are the quote-unquote good girls and they have proximity relation to Beyonce, who in many people's eyes is untouchable. So they get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to social backlash, even though I do think that the Bailey sisters are still very unproblematic regardless. But people came for Ruby, and here are some of the tweets. So someone said, "Who you talking about, B? Because I know it's not Halle." Someone else said, "Ruby Rose must think that Halle won't beat her A." And another user said, "Ruby Rose shading Halle Bailey?" People kept going. Someone else said, "Somebody better tell Ruby Rose to sit the F down because I'ma always come behind my sis Halle." Another user tweeted, "At Ruby Rose, B, I know you're not talking about Halle." And lastly, someone also tweeted back to her and said, "Dissing Halle for no reason is crazy." So she was definitely getting a lot of smoke, and honestly, she deserved it because it was so unwarranted. I mean, I don't think it was directly intentional towards Halle, but she knew what she was doing. We're way too old to act like she didn't know that it would be offensive and also very messy, like the highest level of untidy. And I think because she was getting dragged, she knew that she had to push the envelope so that she didn't look like she was just coming out of the blue with this. So she then decides to release DMs between her and DDG. So in the DM, DDG says, "Are you still in LA?" Ruby Rose responds and says, "Yeah." DDG comes back and says, "What you want?" Ruby Rose says, "Getting ready, how about you?" And then she says, "You hitting me up the day that y'all argue is so you." Then DDG responds back and says, "LOL, you right. Let me go heal first." And of course, Ruby posts this with the caption saying, "This is why I'm single." Ooh, this was messy, which is ironic because this was all posted a few days before Valentine's Day. So of course, DDG starts tweeting trying to defend himself because this looks really bad on his behalf. So he comes out with an initial tweet and says, "I know it looks bad, but it ain't what it seems. Swear to G." I'm sorry, y'all. I can't swear to God Almighty when I know it's a lie. "That B is just evil." So then a clip surfaces of DDG's live reaction to when the tweet of the DMs was posted. Apparently he was streaming and this is how he reacted.
Ah! hate this. Oh my God, I hate this. Oh my God. I hate this.
Just embarrassing. The audacity of this nigger to be smiling and laughing like a Kool-Aid jammer. So they basically went back and forth a little bit more. I'm not going to post every tweet because this is just downright childish, embarrassing. And I just think that Halle is definitely above this. But at the same time, no, she isn't. Because Halle definitely got wind of all of this. And there were people coming to her defense just for her to tweet and say, the devil is working. LOL. Please don't feed into the lies, especially from a third party. Stay blessed, everyone. Yeah, I'ma just call BS. The only devil I see in the situation is her own boyfriend. There was a lot more tweets in this situation. Even one of Ruby's friends came out and defended Ruby, and people were saying that DDG was all in Ruby's face at Carisha's birthday party, which, to be honest, I kind of believe. But I feel like, honestly, everybody involved in this is a shit show. If Halle is not going to open her eyes and really smell the coffee, then more of this is just going to continue to happen. This isn't the first time he's embarrassed her. Any man that is in communication with his ex-girlfriend, that's not a man that you put on a pedestal, and definitely not a man that you make excuses for. She's very young. She's 22, turning 23 very soon. So I've been there and I've done that. I've seen the evidence right in front of me and still handed out a not guilty verdict for my man. So I just hope there's not going to be another incident, but I highly doubt that this will last, because all I can take from this situation is that even through public disrespect, Halle will make an excuse, and she was better off not saying anything publicly, because people will use this against her, and it does go against the image that people put in their minds about her. It's like if I get up here and I start dating some low-down, uneducated rapper who pops perks all day and only cares about violence and making me his baby mama, y'all would drag me for attaching myself to somebody who is below me or doesn't live up to my perception. So I think the same thing goes here. I also really didn't like how hard some people were dragging Ruby for exposing this, because where was all the smoke for DDG? Like, why is the man always absolved of the smoke? Like, it just pisses me off. Whether she sent it to Halle privately or not, I think the side of DDG is that, yes, he may be the internet F-boy, but he has some good qualities about him that gives him a pass in a lot of actions that he has done. And I think that what Ruby did was just completely validate why people had hesitations about DDG and Halle being a couple in the first place. Was it her place to do so? Hell no. But was she wrong? Hell no. All in all, I don't see this relationship really lasting, because now there's a crack in the picture frame. And I just think Ruby Rose and DDG are actually more meant for each other. And I just wish that more young women would find a little bit more self-worth about the men that they deal with and just get the hell on. Like I said, I've been exactly where Halle has been. It didn't serve me any benefit making excuses and staying in a situation that embarrasses me, but she will learn and eventually she will grow. I hope. So last up is Rihanna'S Super Bowl performance. So Rihanna was the halftime performer at Super Bowl 57 that just passed, and this was a highly anticipated performance. I mean, the build-up from the performance was so raved about because, I mean, it's Rihanna. She has some of the best pop hits of all time. She's a beauty and fashion icon, and she's been able to maintain a very prominent career ever since she came out in 2005. Side note, as most of y'all know, I am a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. As y'all know, I'm from Philly. So I was so heartbroken that we lost that game, and I could take a loss. I can definitely accept an L, but it was just the way how it happened. As a Philly fan, my heart sank and I was just so hurt, but I believe in my team. I think we can make it back to the Super Bowl next year, and I hope that we do. I was so ready to go to the celebratory parade. Y'all was about to see me on Broad Street. I even made a whole championship rap song that I was gonna drop just to have something out, and it didn't happen, but we will get them next year. Shout out to Jalen Hurts and the entire Philadelphia Eagles. They played a great game, and they're still the best team in the NFL. I don't care. So back to Rihanna. So Rihanna started the performance, and you know, she definitely was eye-catching. She had on red, which I didn't really like her outfit nor her hair, but it definitely was something that caught my eye. And also, people started realizing her belly, and my mom was sitting there and she was like, is she pregnant? She's definitely pregnant. And I'm like, nah, that's impossible. She literally just had a baby like less than 8 months ago. But as I'm watching, I'm like, it's definitely giving pregnancy belly, but I wasn't trying to be rude. And then it ended up being confirmed that she was pregnant. So the remainder of the performance was, all in all, for me, it was okay. Like, it was just okay. And I think people know that, but just don't want to admit it. Of course, her pregnancy could be hindering her movement, her singing, and all of that. But I think it was very clear that she was lip singing, which I didn't even care. I just wanted to see a show. I will say that the dancers definitely carried most of the show. The choreography was great. I think they did a phenomenal job. And I do think the song choices that Rihanna chose were perfect. I was able to sing along to every word of every song. And it was pretty nostalgic to see some of her best hits because, of course, Rihanna hasn't put out music in a while, and the fans fans have been asking for a new project. I'm pretty sure that that's probably dead now because obviously she's more focused on motherhood and her beauty and fashion brands, but I really do think that the performance was definitely just okay. People are making excuses saying that it's because she's pregnant. I don't even think that it was the pregnancy. I think for me, it just wasn't a performance. Rihanna has never been the best of the singers or the best of the performers, but I've seen her do more with performances. Even as far as the special effects, I mean, there could have been a little bit more pyro and flames and more of a switch up with the dancers, maybe an outfit change. I really thought she was going to do an outfit change and, you know, things like that. Everything kind of just seemed to be exactly the same throughout the entire performance. And I think she was being restrictive, being that she was hanging from the platform. So of course you can't do too much when you're floating in the sky like that. But I definitely don't agree with how all of the internet was like saying that she killed it. I don't think she killed it. I've definitely seen better performances from lesser known artists, and I've seen better performances from Rihanna herself. I think the internet loves to just gas people who they love, which is like, you know, an obvious thing. Like even as far as my previous story about people coming to the fence for Halle Bailey, I hope that if I blow, whether it's from my music, my YouTube, or whatever endeavor I do, I hope I have a whole bunch of people defending everything I do the way how y'all defend your faves, because people really be picking and choosing, and I don't like that. We can call a spade and still like the artist or the individual. I did want to touch on the symbolism because I think there is an agenda that a lot of celebrities are pushing. Whether you believe in all the allegations of the evil eye and Illuminati and just saints and worship or not, I think it's obvious that there is an agenda that's being pushed. And if you're one of those people, I did pick up on some of that, and I do agree with some of it as well. Just have to say that. I think people just need to be a little bit more informed and understand that you can't just look at stuff surface value in any realm of entertainment. There's always going to be someone or something behind all of these mainstream people. That's all I'm going to say about that. Overall, she did a decent job under the circumstances, and I do think that maybe my expectations were really high and I was expecting a little bit more. It gave more of a playlist versus a performance, and I think it was really more of a pregnancy announcement more than anything else. She could have maybe performed an unreleased song just to have a little bit more positive hype and shock effects, but I think it's fair that some people just didn't like the performance. That doesn't mean that they are a hater. I think it just makes them being real about what they observed. All in all, I was more upset that my Eagles lost. Like, I ain't about to hold y'all. I didn't really care about anything other than that while watching the game. We will be back next year. Go Philly and fly, Eagles fly. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. This video was actually going to include a story about Ddg, but I had to cut her because I did have to talk about Rihanna, so maybe next time. If you haven't already, go ahead and stream my song Ballin'. It is out on all platforms, linked down below, and new music dropping in March. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, y'all.
I said 34 B cup, 30 in a deep cut, 20 bad bitches, QTM, yeah, we up. 16 tops and bottles, man, I went and got my teeth done. 10 minutes with him, now his 15 minutes is cut. Never ever make a nigga think that he up, cause you a queen and I'm a queen, now shout out to Latifah. Security in the back, with a racket like Serena. Ex-nigga crying, laugh at him like a hyena. Like, damn, what you saying, daddy? Yeah, I know I got a fatty pussy, talking to him, talk my shit, yeah, I be getting catty. Play with me, I bet you won't. Fatty on his chest and now he calling me a stethoscope.